Hello.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is no remorse. We are late. We are working on Tiki's time tonight. Getting started much after we typically do. We had all kinds of problems from Jamie sitting in the dark over there, and Mark couldn't hear us, but we could hear him and vice versa. But I think we got everything kind of ironed out and ready to go. So apologies for the delays, guys. We try to keep it fairly close to when our starting time is, but it's been an interesting week already, so we're going to push right through this opener. I mentioned Tiki's, but I didn't mention who was on their show. It was Colorado Cold-Blooded on Balls and Things right before us. If you're jumping over from there, thanks for joining us. If you aren't familiar with them, hop over there and subscribe. That Whiskey Bomb Network's got a ton of different stuff going on, so you won't be disappointed subscribing to that channel. You got I think almost 2 shows a day now, if not 3 and 4 some of those days. So a huge schedule of different content and going to be something on there you're going to like. So appreciate those guys always. They always shout us out, and we want to do the same. Last night hung out with the RWO crew, sat over at Ken's channel. He was having windstorms and all kinds of this weird weather we've been having in the Midwest, and I suppose it worked out to the east a little bit too, but no power. So he's like, open panel, guys, and everybody just dove in and held his show and kind of talked about all kinds of random stuff in his absence. So that was kind of fun to see all those guys and hang out. But if you're not subscribed to LMK, RWO, all that group, it's going to be Stan at Sea of Serpents. It's going to be Justin with Pressure Pythons. You got Jesus at Rising, right? Yeah, Jesus is in that group too. I think they broadcast from his channel. Pretty sure, anyway. Vance with Blue Zombie Morphs. I mean, all those guys are doing, a rotating schedule of who actually does this show on Thursday nights. So jump over and subscribe to that too. Good group of guys. But Jamie, you got any news over there? Nothing from the week?
No, weather finally settled in. It's getting sunny out.
Right. Yep. Finally got to see some sun.
Getting
Brought
snakes
the patio
together.
furniture.
Yeah. Drug all that junk out on the deck. Shipped out some snakes that arrived this morning. Seemed to be fine. Guy was real happy with them, so that's a plus. Can never argue about that. Yep. And we got shows coming up really quick, too. May 18th, Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Exotic Pet Fairs. We're going to be there Saturday. Believe it starts at 10, runs till 4. Just a one-day quick show, but that's done by, what's their names over there? Come on now. Oh, man, my brain is just not with me today. But anyways, Emily and them from the Twin Cities. Come on, guys, help me out.
Oh, Snake Discovery?
Yes.
What are you talking
Jeez.
about? I didn't know what you were trying to get at. I was like, I wanted to help you, but...
Yeah, my brain was just not coming up with it. And that happens more and more as we crest over this 50 mark, and all the hops adds up after a point. But, yeah. So anyways, they're putting that on. They put it on every year, twice a year. We're going to show up to that one in Vend for the first time. So that'll be super interesting for sure. So if you're in the area, or you can be in the area, come out, swing out, say hi, grab some merch off the table, grab a card, shake a hand, take some pictures, buy a snake if you're so inclined. Yeah. Get a hug from Jamie. But we got housekeeping to do here, guys. We're going to get some of this stuff out of the way like we've been doing for quite a while. We've got Deeds Not Words. This is definitely still running. Great campaign. It's important we support this kind of stuff because it is giving back to those guys that gave up a lot for us and do so every day in and day out. So this is an opportunity for, not just wounded men and women, but also, people that were involved in the military and want to take part. So this takes them out of their day-to-day, puts them out in the wilderness to do things they like to do. It's Camp Freedom. I'm sure they get to do pretty much whatever they like, other than maybe hunting. And maybe there is some of that too. I don't know the details, but fishing, camping, getting outdoors, doing all of the things they used to enjoy. So takes a little bit of the daily pressure off and gives back. So if you can, grab a shirt. Shirts are amazing. If you want to just donate straight up cash, you could do that too. And different tiers of those cash donations get you different things as well. So pop over there. Chris at the Fat Man Nation is running that program out, but pop over and grab yourself something or pitch a few bucks that way. Super important. And then we got affiliates. Jamie, I did not get your affiliate video loaded because we had ads to that. So it's a quick rundown. List them off. Okay. Everybody's familiar at this point.
All right. Okay. Big D's Pythons, Graceful Pythons, ShedTesting.com, Angel Caro Reptiles, BNS Reptilia, Bull Pythons, Rippin' Reptiles, Bone Daddy Serpents, Ramries Royals, D's Balls and Exotics, Rat Bastard Royals, Blue Zombie Morphs, Having a Ball Pythons, Texoma Exotics, Edge of Panic, Flexen and Finessin Reptiles, Mission Morphs, Mommy and Me Geckos, and Capital City Ball Pythons. Who did we add?
We are adding a couple. I'm going to have to...
TJ Hutch we're adding.
Yep, Janet TJ Hutch. And we talked with James Be Easy, too, All City. So he might jump in there.
Yeah.
And, I just want to confirm with him before we put that stuff up there and make sure. But it sounded that way. So adding people all the time, guys. It's growing. The list is growing. The cash pool is growing. Jamie puts that up weekly so you can see where you're sitting. There's a lot of people with $50 to $100 now. That's a couple different pieces of merch. Grab a hat, grab a shirt, put it towards a snake you've been looking at, whatever. But just reach out, let us know where you'd like to spend it with those folks, and we'll make that contact. So definitely don't be shy to use it. And, of course, you can always keep it and save it up. But, Jay, that only leaves us with one more and a commercial. So
we got Chris over at BNS Reptilia. Again, you need to use that forge coin. You need substrate. You got Coco2go. He's got the chipper. He's also got Calubras, Bloods, Boas, Balls, and probably some others, but I know those for sure. And I believe Chris will accept forge coin for all of those. So you need anything from Chris, get your forge coin together and give him a call.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris is an awesome guy. And we did mention it last week, but our guest tonight is also a brand new show sponsor. So down in the bottom corner, down there, is his logo added in there for the show sponsors, and appreciate that, Mark. We'll get into that too a little bit as we talk, and you can kind of, let us know really in the forge coin side of that what it is you'd like to do too, if that's, merch and everything else. But let's say hi to the audience real quick, run through some of the people that showed up tonight to see Mark and hang out.
Sure.
There's the guy we were just talking about. Got to get a confirmation from him, but I believe he's going to go that way. So appreciate you. Be easy. Thank you, sir. And we got Kike down there, too. Kike's in here, salting the support almost every week, man. And I'm getting a brand new shirt from him. Joined up to the BBC club, so I'll be sporting that.
Very nice.
Yeah, Bald Breeders
Congratulations.
Club, Bald Breeders Club. So
okay.
No confusion.
That's funny.
John at Mission Morphs and his boy Chance. So good to see you guys out there. Vance, Blue Zombie Morphs, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for hanging out. Go check out his shows on Saturdays, guys. That's a good show. Tim, that's the old man sitting on the couch watching once again. Every person we get in the seat's appreciated, but Mom and Dad always want to come hang out. They can give us a hard time for the remainder of the week between shows. So there we go. That's the club right there, the BBC. Be sporting that fine shirt shortly here, so appreciate Kike for that, for sure. Get a lot of weird looks cruising around with that thing on, I imagine. But
right. That'll be funny.
We got Nick from 666. Good to see you, Nick. It was fun to hang out last night, brother. Thanks for coming out and hanging out.
I'm slacking.
That's okay. Nick's a comical guy, man. He cracks me up. We got Josh at Having a Ball, one of the Forge Coin affiliates there, and honestly, just a great guy. Got a couple snakes from Josh not long ago.
Yeah, really pretty snake.
Yeah. Super, super excited to use him. Brave. It's probably got a secret smoothie going, but I always see Brave in here. Still got to hook up with Brave and drag him onto the show because I got to see what this guy's about. But Shauna, that's the wheels on the bus go round and round, Shauna. Keeps the Fat Man Nation on the road for sure.
Talking about the wheels on the bus. Morph Forge is going to be on Fat Man Nation tomorrow for 15 minutes of lame.
We are, yeah. And I didn't know how
Check it
far
out.
ahead we're supposed to say that stuff or even mention it, but super excited about
Well,
it and honestly just honored. So
It's
that's
it's
going to be a lot of
posted.
fun.
Yeah, he's got.
No, I know. I just prior to
Shauna
this,
does.
I'm saying, but Will, good to see you, Will. Appreciate you. He was a couple episodes back. Go back and check him out. It was a fun show having him on. Appreciate it, guys. Sammy, the Pink
Sammy.
Panther. God, usually one of the three of us has a Sammy shirt on. Not tonight, Sammy. Sorry about that, but appreciate you 2%. Thanks for hanging out, man. We got Dickie Foster. That is Ken LMK's favorite name to say right there. Looks like Mr. NASCAR name, but Thomas, Over the Road Hauler, appreciate you, sir. He checks in every week too, man. He's been pretty steady. Appreciate that for sure. Jen, that's one of the new affiliates we got to add on the board right there.
Yeah.
Appreciate you too, Jen. Good to see you. Can't wait for Dick Mountain. We got Kurt Wood. Yeah, same to you, Kurt. Appreciate you swinging in. If it's just to say hi, come back, catch us on the replay. I know you're going to want to see what Mark's about, too. Mark's a good guy, and you two seem like you'd be on the same page. Yep, awesome shirt, Jason, says Chris. Agreed, man. Yeah, I actually wear that thing a couple of times through the week because working at
Yeah, I
home,
love it.
you throw it on, and it's comfortable, and it's a great shirt to have on and about anyway. Hump Day. This is next week's guest. Good to see you, Josh. Getting your show prepped, getting excited to sit and talk with you too. But thanks for coming out tonight. And we got Tommy. That's Jamie's buddy right there. Keeps her on the straight and narrow with those geckos. So appreciate you
we're
coming
friends.
out, Tommy.
He helps me a lot.
He does, man, and he answers quick, like immediate. We got Dan, Vision Quest. Good to see you, sir.
I got to get a
Appreciated
shirt from
those animals from you too, man. Jay's got those over on his side now, so appreciate you much. Charlie, the original sponsor, the OG right there. Appreciate you, sir. Thanks for coming out. More lace stuff coming your way, Charlie. I know that's a oh God on his side. But, oh God, more lace
He's so
stuff.
sick of lace right now.
Right?
Probably.
1 week in, ready to give it up, man. Catching too much flat.
Black Lagoon, good to see you. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. It's a couple weeks now. See him popping around the different channels and stuff too, so awesome to see him. We got Vinnie, Bone Daddy. He is the lifetime honorary sponsor down there in the bottom left, even though he didn't want to be up there. But he's stuck there now. Got LMK Ken. Appreciate you coming out, Ken. And tune in tomorrow night on that show, too. They've got a couple leftover items from the auction and a spin for those that bought. So
It's on Jesus's channel tomorrow.
yes. Yep. Appreciate this guy right here. Can't miss out on it, Don D. Has a fantastic show. Everyday Keepers runs Sundays, I believe, right? Like noonish our time.
Our time, yeah.
Yeah, there's all the different times. Chris, over there, 319. Good to see you, sir. Appreciate you hanging out, for sure. Can't wait to meet Chris at a show or something, man. Seems like an awesome guy. We got Greg and TJ, another sponsor down there in the bottom corner. Good to see you guys in here. We got Jose. Good to see Jose back in too, man. Edge of Panic. Starting to see him bop around the different channels again. Guy just gets so sidetracked with all the stuff he's got going, but like Jose, man, he's a cool dude. Nikki, Kurt, appreciate you guys out there at Irresistibles. Good to see your face in here too. Reptile Pit. This maybe is somebody in the Pacific Northwest. Maybe Mark knows him. Not familiar with it, but appreciate you regardless, man. Come on back. See us again. Everybody out there that's tuning in, hit that button and jump back in with us next week.
I think we're getting to the end here.
Absolutely. Good to go?
I think we're safe.
All right.
Jared?
Oh, Jared. I'm scrolling.
Josh, too, at Jay Slithers. Good to see you,
Yep.
Josh. Jared, good to see you.
All
Had an
right.
excellent show on Bamboo on
Bambala.
Genetic Canvas. Go back and catch that. We got Dumbala. Yeah, good to see those guys in here, too.
Oh,
So numbers are growing. Mark's a popular guy, man. He brought in the whole party
Heck
tonight.
yeah. It's awesome.
And one of my favorite logos right here. I've got that shirt I pull out all the time too. So appreciate you, Chris. Thanks for popping in here, man. Chris is a comical guy too. And we got Prox over there, Mike and Melissa. Good to see them.
Here you go. Listen to Nikki. Be like Nikki. Hit the button.
Yep. 10 of you are slacking. Hit that like button. Good advice, Nikki. Appreciate that. 100%.
All right,
guys.
Let's
get our sponsor in here and get to our guests, yeah? I'm excited to talk to Mark, so let's do it. Guys, grab your water or whatever else, or just watch the commercial. That works too. So there you go, guys. Shedtesting.com. Get all your lace stuff rounded up and just bombard Charlie with that lace stuff.
Oh, man.
He's having a ball over there with that right now, but appreciate Charlie 100%. Such a good guy. and more than willing to talk, too. Like, hey, when things don't work out or you get a bad result, whatever, he's like, hey, show me your snake. Let me take a look at it, see if, maybe we should rerun it, whatever. But
Charlie will explain to each and every one of you why your lace isn't a lace. He's got plenty of time.
Yes, absolutely. Jeff, good to see you sneak in here too from Bald Head Balls. Appreciate it. Jamie, you ready to go to the back, run some comments for us? If you guys have comments, questions for Mark while he's out here, shoot them over, but we ready to swap out and get Mark on the screen? Mark, you're ready back there, I assume. Oh, yeah, he says. All right, here we go, guys. Jamie, good luck back there. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mark,
the guy.
How you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, it's been a day. Work's been pretty busy lately, and we've been shorthanded, and just trying to get caught up on a lot of the stuff going on.
Right. Yeah, work can definitely do that. I think Jay sees more of that than Jamie and I. Jamie and I is pretty chill, but Jay gets run around the ringer pretty good.
Yeah, pretty much nonstop, but it is what it is, right? Get through it.
Yeah, pays the bills, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you had a hell of a day at work. You jump in here and things are working fine, and then they weren't working fine, so you add that on top. But we got you in here. It's not ideal for you. You're on your phone. I'm sure you'd prefer to be on the tablet, maybe a little more freedom, better, easy to see things going on. But still appreciate the effort, and thanks for coming and joining us, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm just glad that we were able to sort out all the technical difficulties that we were running into. And at least I can hear you guys. I can see you guys, so that's good.
Right. Checking all the boxes, Mark. But you're a little bit, and I don't mean this in a negative way at all. I know you're super familiar with reptiles and the background is there, but you're a little bit newer on the scene as far as doing the breeding thing and getting into the ball pythons and getting started, right? So I think for a lot of people out there, they're not going to be super familiar with you. Do you kind of want to walk us through how that process went, like where the interest started and where you're sitting at the moment?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I've been keeping reptiles ever since I was younger. Always went out herping and stuff like that. I've had eastern box tortoises, eastern box turtle. Had a lot of anoles and stuff like that growing up, in like junior high. Me and a buddy, we started breeding them. That was kind of a fun little side project. And then, I recently got into the ball pythons towards the end of May of last year. I was going through some emotional times. I've been recently divorced and got divorced in 2020. And then I had split custody of my son with my wife, and he recently moved out of state to Oregon. So it's kind of looking to kind of fill the gap and have something that we both can do together and enjoy when he's here. So
Absolutely.
kind of started getting into the ball pythons. I was really interested in the genetics and the different morphs. I'm really big into science, so the genetics and everything like that really interests me, and learning all about the different alleles and stuff like
You
that.
know, it's funny you say that because I've wondered, especially since getting into the especially ball pythons, why that isn't something that's used more, right, for science classes. I mean, it's like a perfect example and so easy for people to see it. Like they could actually create the genetics, do the math, actually do all basically in the same year if you get the breeding right on them. But they don't. I don't know of any schools that actually do that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on that. I know I know there are several other breeders that that are teachers that do bring their animals into the class and try and teach genetics and stuff like that as far as stuff like that goes.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's a couple floating around that are kind of crossover. I think Jamie at Professor Pythons. There's a couple other bigger names too that actually have fairly good sized collections going and use them as part of their curriculum. So, like to see more of it because you're right, Jay. It's a point blank example of how it works and figuring
yeah,
out all of your tables and odds and things, right? But
yeah.
so that's funny, Mark. Do you have a science background? I mean, is that your field currently, or has it just always been an interest to you?
No, it's just always been an interest. I'm like a jack of all trades and a master of some. Um,
Right,
you know,
right.
it's just always piqued my interest.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So when you decided this ball python thing was going to be something of interest, even though you had the reptile background, what about them specifically did you get to a reptile show and see something in a particular morph that just drew your attention, or how did that side of it get going?
Yeah, actually, a lot of it was on YouTube. I was watching a lot of Billy Mutation Creation, watching a lot of the Chris Hardwick videos just on the different genes.
Yeah.
Don't see too much of that guy around anymore, but
No.
I don't really
No,
know what happened there. He had some pretty nice animals.
Yeah,
he
I did.
did. Kind of a long, weird story, and I don't have the details down in my brain well enough. I'll jumble it up and say something wrong, and I don't want to do that for sure. But had some difficulties and just kind of went away from it for a bit. So super common though. Everybody goes back to those Hardwick videos and the gene
Yeah.
pulling up
He,
everything on Morph Market and
on Morph
showing the
Market.
different
Yeah.
combinations. Yeah, Chris
It was
was a
actually
funny guy, man.
super helpful as somebody just starting out. It was pretty educational. Quick way to
Yeah,
learn some of that stuff.
Yeah, it helped a
absolutely.
lot with trying to ID certain traits for different morphs.
Yeah. Yep.
Or
Gotcha. And the teachers are
Yep.
mostly hot.
That's fringe
Yeah.
benefit there. Yep.
Leave it to Nick. He's going to find his way into that comment for sure. And yeah, that's a super common thing that they stumble on the Chris stuff. They see the variety. They see that a lot of the super pretty and interesting animals really aren't that expensive when you think about it.
Yeah.
Easy animal to keep, relatively fairly easy to breed. Learning all your husbandry and in and outs and getting prolific with that is something else, right? But so what did you do as far as your initial setup? Did you have a particular plan in mind as to what you were going to buy and get going on, or grab stuff you just kind of liked out of the gate?
right off the bat, I just kind of did what everybody else does, kind of pick something that you like. The first couple animals that uh, I got a super pastel lesser het clown was my first ball python, and then we ended up getting a super pastel gravel spark. and not knowing too much about pairing and everything like that, I did buy quite a few pet quality animals before I figured out, hey, if I'm going to get serious about this and the collection keeps growing, I wanted to hone in on certain genes that I really like working with.
Sure.
Absolutely. Well, you got right out of the gate with pastel everywhere. You got supers on both sides and a ton of that through the collection.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of gotten a bit. What are your thoughts particularly on pastel? Do you feel like it's just gotten too bad a rap?
On
Like it doesn't.
pastel, yeah, I think I don't want to get rid of it in my collection because it works so well in certain combinations. Like
Right.
Right.
DG and pastel go great together. Um, yeah, there's quite a few different combinations where I think it looks good. I'd like to work it into some of my blackhead hypo stuff.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
pastel blackhead actually works really well.
Yeah, get that in there with some yellow belly.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it does not work well in clown. I think everybody's aware of that, and that
Now, this is
know,
Mark's first
huge
snake, man. Now it's brown.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, they brown out, right?
Yeah.
And clown does it on its own, right? So it's just a terrible thing to put together. But clown got so huge that it kind of it put out its whatever you want to call it, the wake on pastel, right? Like it just washed
Yeah.
pastel out of the picture too. But you're right, works fantastic in a lot of stuff. Puzzle, acid, some of those darker pattern genes really like pastel. Well, look at a pastel stranger, right? Fantastic looking animal.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad in sunset, in my opinion. I've seen some pretty
Right.
decent looking
Yeah.
pastel sunsets.
Yep, and yeah, Alan at Dumbala too. It looks great in Xanthic. I think you're going to see some resurgence of pastel with these clean genes coming out, stuff like lace, DG.
Yeah. They're just not going to go crazy with it like they did before, where it's just in everything. It just doesn't work in
Yeah.
everything. So
No, absolutely. So what are you looking like now? So I see you've got some ARS stuff behind you. What kind of numbers are we talking about in the collection?
Yeah, so right now that rack is getting filled up, so I'm gonna have to start expanding here pretty soon. I think I've got room for probably 5 more racks or 5 more rows on the 1039, and then I'm probably gonna go at least 4 more high on my 5540 rack.
Okay. So you're somewhere in that 100 already range, right?
I'm hovering right around a little over 60.
Okay. All stuff intended for something or some things you need to move yet?
Yeah, some stuff I need to move for sure.
Okay.
I've got a couple clowns that are about ready to move into the 5540 rack, and then like I said, I do have some pet quality animals, and then just some stuff that I got along the way that really doesn't work into the plans that I've got.
yeah. Yeah. We all
Okay.
end up with those too. Yeah. Have plans when you buy them, and then it changes. Now you just have the snake that just eats rats.
Right. And
Yeah.
sometimes those package deals aren't necessarily the package you need, right? So you get the great
Yeah.
snake and then you get a couple that might work and yeah, they just don't pan out. But what is the scoop for seasons? Are you on season 1, season 2? Where are you sitting there?
Yeah, so technically like I said, I started in May. I did have one girl that reabsorbed last year, so I'm still waiting to drop my first clutch, and I've got like 3 to 5 pairings. I'm hoping at least maybe 3 go.
Okay.
Okay. Have
And
you ever
that's
cut a
the-
clutch? I'm
No,
assuming
not
you haven't.
yet.
If it's so, you got to cut that first one live, right?
Yeah,
Shaking like this.
it might be a backstage thing. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any live egg cuttings.
Put you on the spot, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And there's some talk about that not reflecting real well too lately. I think even USARK had put that out that, hey, let's cut back on the live egg cuttings. If you want to do those and put them on your Patreon or something, that works. But and I kind of get that, but boy, that stuff's getting awfully soft out there. That is just part of the deal, guys.
That's a tough one too, because if you have a snake that comes out and it's wrapped in the umbilical cord, and you need to, that's one of your higher end snakes that you wanted to save. If you didn't cut that clutch, you might lose that animal.
Yep. Absolutely. Arguments both directions there, and to some degree we do always say support USARK, right? And you have to. I mean, it's the one entity out there looking out for all of us, but it's hard to do anything like that hinders that, right? So if they're putting out a message like that, it's kind of just like a cooperate out of a respect kind of a thing, you know what I mean? So I get it, but I think if you're gonna cut, you're gonna cut, and that's just a personal decision for breeders. I don't see us stopping that. We do wait for a pip, but when we get that pip or we start to see the slits starting to go, we're cutting. Because like you said, we've had that umbilical twist, and if you're not in there rotating that animal around, you're going to lose it. Anyway, neither here nor there on that, Mark, but anxious for your first one, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. It's exciting. I come home and I'm like opening up a couple tubs, and I'm like, okay, they're getting close, but no eggs have dropped yet. So.
Okay. Well, right out of the gate, we're going to take more audience questions tonight, too, because a lot of these people want to know from you. You're at a show tomorrow. What genetics would a snake need to catch your wallet's eye? In other words, what do you want to add next is what he's asking here.
Oh, got it. I really like the bang gene, but I heard that might be just another line of like a high OD, So I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if Charlie or RGI has been working on that to figure that out, but I really like what the bang gene does.
Yeah, bang in the stuff I've seen it in is super reactive. I mean, it actually does much more than your typical OD stuff would. But I've heard rumblings of that too. Like, hey, this thing is looking more and more like it might be a line of OD. So kind of hold our breath and wait and see. I think.
I mean, if that's the case, the prices will probably come down a little bit. I'll try and grab some of it up. Right now, it's just a little bit out of my price range. So.
Right.
Gotcha. I'm attracted more towards some of the brighter stuff. As far as I work a lot of clown pied, so that's kind of the way I'm leaning towards is the brighter genes, and I'd like to eventually work in ultramel and hypo in there as well.
Okay. Well, there you go. Sorry to interrupt there, but Charlie said he started working on bang. Says whole genome sequenced a bunch of super banks, so that's good news. We'll know something here.
Gonna see something coming out of that camp, which is cool. And Jeremy says no, it doesn't look like OD or high OD. Like I say, I don't know where that kind of is. Oh, it already did test negative. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, that's good for that gene. It does appear to do a lot more. Nice. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. So. Rumor mill doing what the rumor mill does. It was floating around recently. I had heard the same thing. I don't recall from where, but
I'm glad that's not the case. Those guys that do have it, they're going to be probably holding on to it. I might have to wait a little while on that one.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. Okay. It tested it to the RGI test and it came up negative. Gotcha. Okay. Good. So yeah, you were kind of speaking to your clown pied project. Multiple animals in that? Are you doing a 2.4? Or are you doing a 1.3?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm like really male heavy on that side. I did. I picked up a clutch. Jared with Selective Creations actually helped me ID some of them, but yeah, I picked up like 4 visual clown pied male combos,
Okay.
pastel, leopard, enchi. And then, and then I'm working GHI in there. I've got a couple females. Let's see here. Like I said, I'm pretty male heavy on the clown pied stuff, but I've got a ODYB fire leopard double het clown pied female, another pastel clown double het DG pied that I'm going to be working in there as well. The GHI Enchi double het clown pied female, and then I've got a blackhead double het clown pied female as well.
Nice. Okay, so you got a really good starter group on that.
Did you say you had
this-
blackhead and male too, or just the female side?
Just on the female side for the clown pied stuff.
Okay.
And Chris's lace bang is indeed lace. I know we're going to be seeing a ton of that coming out, man. There's so many animals out there that it's like, oh, I don't know, man. It's
Mando likes the mandarin.
he does, absolutely. So is that what you're getting next?
I do have one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Male, female?
It's a male. It's a
Nice.
Oh, let me see here. I've got my little cheat sheet out. He's a black pastel pinstripe NR Mandarin double het albino pie.
Wow, okay.
Nice.
So
I
not quite sure. I'm not a big fan of albino. I do have a Candino het clown that I'm really attached to. She's a real looker. But as far as like the albino stuff goes, I'd probably throw him towards the pied stuff.
I was going to say, yeah, I've not seen a ton of Mandarin pied stuff, and I'd be curious to see, how much of that orange pulls, because pieds want to be orange anyways to some degree, right? Yeah, I'd be curious to see some of that. I'm sure there's some floating around. I just haven't really seen a ton of examples. Be a cool,
mix that in with the blackhead and the enchi would be crazy. That's why I was asking if you had the blackhead on the male side, but
yeah, that's on the female side, unfortunately. But I do have a lot of blackhead stuff in my hypo project.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of Pipset firepower back there in that rack.
Yeah, got a ton of stuff from Pip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they've got some really nice animals and super nice people to work with, man.
Ashley and Nikita are great.
So did you want to show off animals, or is that going to be tough for you with the phone and all of that going?
No, I can just go grab whatever's back there. Is there anything you guys want to see?
We're kind of curious what you'd rather show. That's what I'd always like. Like, what are you most proud of? Like, let's see the ones you want to show. You know what I mean? The stuff that
I can show you some of the clown pied stuff, and I can show you some of I'll show you some of the hypo stuff.
All right, we'll pop into a different mode here. Kind of go that route so we can get him on the big screen when we have to. Whoop.
So here's going to be Enchi leopard clown pied males. I don't know if
there we go.
Picking up very well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, nice and clear, man.
Yeah, so when I noticed right when I first got this clutch, like all the outlines between the pattern and the white, all that's filled in with black, and it just, I think it looks great.
Yeah, it's lined all the way around. You can see it pretty clear.
So we
A
believe this
lot of
one's the Enchi leopard, but like I said, I've got 4 of these boys, and I probably only need to have 2. So whatever I don't keep, I'm definitely gonna shed test before I sell it. That way,
Yeah.
we know exactly what's what.
it's a good looking boy there though. Yeah, and leopard tends to do that outlining. Not always, but
This guy just shed out.
and that's almost got a bit of a wash to the pattern, almost like pin pieds tend to do a little bit.
Yeah, especially it's a lot more noticeable on the saddle over here. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up.
It's showing really clear. It looks good.
Yeah, you can see it.
All right. Yeah, I can't on my end. The live is frozen, so it's just showing me holding the last snake, but that's
Oh,
okay.
really?
As
No,
It's
long
a
as you
no.
guys can see it, it's all good.
yeah, it's coming through crystal clear. Looks good.
All right. Go grab some of the other big guys here.
Ah, okay.
So when I talked to Jared with Selective Creations, we think these were the all gene animals. So we believe this one's pastel, leopard, and enchi, just based on the coloring. I'm not sure on the leopard. I think it could possibly be pastel. And then, so we have like a nice 50-50, maybe 75-25 as far as pattern and the white goes. And then we have his
Nice high
brother,
white.
who's just like a really high white.
Yeah, but crazy head, man. That head is really
So
defined. Yeah.
just on the head, and then he's got a little bit of the orange in there on his head, and then just a little part of the tail.
Yeah.
So these guys just this guy just shed out today too, so he's looking pretty good. He's starting to get some more of the paradoxing too. He's got a couple black spots that are starting to come in that weren't there when I first got him.
Sure.
Yeah, we
That
do see a
first,
few of that.
yeah, that first one looked like it had, unless I was just seeing stuff, but it had a couple really red streaks in it, right? Or dark orange, maybe.
Yeah, there's some dark orange on the. See if I can get him to cooperate. There's another big dark paradox spot there too that wasn't there before. Yeah, so that dark orange is more towards the bottom there on the saddles.
Yeah. And right up between them, too, it looks like, wherever they come together. Yeah.
Yeah, almost where your middle finger is. There's looks
Yeah,
red
maybe
on
on
this
the
end.
other side it's a little bit better there.
Yep. Huh.
And then I've got one real big. Well, he's a little bit bigger than these guys. He'll be he'll probably be the first to go. That'll be ready. Snake's all wrapped up in the gimbal.
Yeah, they grab everything.
Yeah, fighting me on it.
So, are these going up on Morph Market then, or how are you going to do that, Mark?
I'm partial towards the high pattern lower white clown pieds. I like a lot of pattern in my clown pieds, so I was probably going to put up at least 2 of those males. I'll probably put up the high white one, and then the Enchi. clown pied male probably as well too.
Okay. And on Morph Market, or how are you just going to do it by word of mouth, friends and family first kind of thing, or?
Yeah, eventually I'll get my Morph Market page set up.
Okay.
I've got quite a few animals on there. I do some husbandry through there using their app and stuff like that, but um I need to get back into the Husbandry Pro and start putting some labels on those bins so I'm not pulling out drawers looking for what I'm ever looking for, you know.
Right. Absolutely.
Get a little bit more organized now that the collection's grown as much as it has.
Yeah, you get up around that 100 mark, or well, even where you're at 60, and it starts to get confusing if you don't have stuff labeled or have a pretty good idea. Just be
Yeah.
opening drawers all day long.
Yeah,
So
I've got a pretty good idea. You know, I work with them quite a bit, but
Yeah.
it definitely could use a little TLC.
right. I'm seeing some shout outs here for Peach. Did you grab a Peach animal somewhere?
Oh, yeah. I've got a leopard peach het clown, breeder size female that I picked up from Billy and Don Rice with Rice Reptiles.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, they had it was during their first Palm Street auction.
Gotcha. And it's breeder size already?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, I'll go
Well,
grab her.
yeah, we better see that one. Just some shout outs from the audience. I see we got Will, and it looked like Nick had mentioned Peach up there too. So,
Yeah,
and that's not
I told Nick that once I put my DG het clown male that ended up turning out to be a female. I think we kind of discussed that a little bit backstage. But yeah, so this is the peach gene. I think Justin
wow.
Kabilka really works heavily with it, and Billy Rice, you know, they work together with Justin, and I saw this female, and I was like, oh, I've got to have her.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So I did see some YouTube videos regarding the peach gene, and I don't know if it's like a line of pastel, but it you know how pastel usually will come up about halfway up the alien heads.
Yeah.
When you look at like the peach gene or a super peach, it doesn't look anything like pastel. So I was really wanting to pair her up to my DG Het Clown male that I have. And I went to weigh him up last week, and I was going to pop some sperm plugs. And when I went to go pop him, I was a little disappointed when I found out it was a female.
Oh
Yeah.
no. That I don't mean to chuckle, but that's happened, I think, to every one of us at some
Yeah.
point.
Oh,
What'd you say
not
the
the end of the world. It just sets me back a little bit as far as my breeding plans go. You know, I'm sure I'll work her into some other areas once she
what
gets
all
up
was
to
in
size.
what all was in her, Mark?
Oh, the DG Het Clown.
No, the one you've got there,
Oh,
the peach.
yeah. So it's just leopard peach Het Clown.
Okay, heck clown.
Yeah, I would like
Yeah.
to see DG Peach. I think that'd be super interesting.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
definitely got a lot of that more peach tone colors towards the tail. I think it works really well in dark genes. Most of the animals that I've seen that Justin Kabilka produced are all you know, orange dream, yellow belly, a lot of the
Hmm.
brighter genes.
Yeah, that
So
thing looks nice and clean for the size, especially really clean looking.
yeah, I'm excited to get her going. I think I might put her to the male that I got from Fred and AJ. I picked up a nice clown from Fred and AJ not too long ago. And yeah, he's going to put in some work. He's a Mojave red stripe, spot nose, yellow belly clown.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I can
Okay.
pull that one up for you guys.
That's a
Mojave
nice
red
combo.
stripe. Yeah, no doubt.
I haven't really even seen much Mojave red stripe, period, to be honest.
I've seen Mojave red stripe spot nose, and that's a nice looking snake.
Yeah, this interaction will be interesting. Get him back up here.
All right, so Mojave, red stripe, spot nose, yellow belly clown.
But that thing is not what I expected, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like
It's chill.
It is. I think it's the yellow belly and the clown that does that, because the ones I've seen with spot nose, Mojave, and red stripe have more red, more like a darker outline. This is more like it's blended. I like it a lot, though.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like a olive drab on the dorsal a little bit, but then almost looks like lesser. But I think that's, a lot of that's the Mojave.
Yeah.
I don't think the red stripe is really as prevalent as you would think it would be.
Right.
It is flattening out the tops of everything, though. I mean, you can see that going on. I mean, typically Mojave and spot nose is going to be much more rounded in the drops. It's got a lot of flat straight lining along the dorsal. So,
Thanks for coming out, Will.
Interesting
Have a
combo.
good night.
Yeah, I like that, man. That's a super nice animal.
And I've got another banana black pastel clown female that he's going to go to. Hopefully hit a Pompeii, but that's a long shot.
Yeah, but you miss all the shots you don't take, right?
Yeah, you're still gonna come out with some nice looking clowns, that's for sure. With that pairing.
Absolutely, that's gonna be great. So the female that are going this year, or your hopes for going, where are they sitting? Do you have a way to scan? Do you use ultrasound, or do you?
I don't. That's
Okay.
one thing that I should look into purchasing next. That's part of my plans to upgrade some of my infrastructure. So hopefully later on this year, when after I get that AR or IRS bill paid down. I screwed up my W-4 pretty good last year.
Oh no.
When my son moved out of state, I was claiming head of household with no dependents, and then when he did move out, I never adjusted it, and my deductions were way off. I hit another tax bracket and just got hammered at the end of the year.
Oh.
And they aren't going to let you off the hook either.
No,
It's like,
no, yeah. So I've got a couple payments, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And I was curious because without the years of like doing it and just seeing the animals and what they're going to do, it's very tough to guess. You can use some indicators, but like even palpating and stuff, like I don't know how guys do it. I've tried 1,000 times.
I can't do it.
No.
It's
I'll weigh them every once in a while, but I can like I thought one of my other females was ovulating, but she's just she's a big girl. She was 3,600 plus grams.
Yeah. If you're going to do a bunch of pairings and you've got males going to a bunch of girls, it's super beneficial just because you're not going to, you use the males way more wisely. You wait till they get to a certain size before you even start pairing them up, and it's so much easier on them. So there's that, and then the other thing it really helps with is just not missing stuff. As long as you start scanning in time. I waited quite a while this year. I think I waited too long on quite a few of ours, unfortunately. But yeah, it can help. As long as you're staying on top of it and doing your scanning, it really helps you to not miss on the females too. So I think it's worth the money.
Yeah, and then you're not, like if you, like you said, if you have a real powerful male that you're trying to put to multiple females, you're not wasting that male unnecessarily.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm not I always look at it as like the animals are long-term investments. I'm not really trying to produce really high-end animals. It's more or less for myself. But I do want to get more involved in the community, my local community. Like to do some outreach stuff, and I'd also like to vend a couple of the local shows. So
Yeah.
I've been to quite a few of the Pacific Northwest reptile shows, and I have a pretty good idea of what the market will bring in. So I do have some pet quality animals, that I can put out on the table and breed, and then I can also, like I said, I'll be working on some double visuals, single visual combos. Um, I've got I just recently picked up at Ken's auction a 2-3 pair of het exanthic clown male and females from
Nice.
John White with Mission Morphs. So
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
Yeah.
looking forward to taking on another project. That'll be a good one. And there is some pastel in there, but with TSK Axanthic, you need that pastel in there, So, and
Yep.
especially with clown, I think some of those are gonna hit pretty nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
John said they were getting up to size, and he said, if I fed them aggressively, they might be ready to go by next season. But I don't like to really push anything. If it happens, it happens. If not, they'll be there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a great group. And being part of that auction, I got to see a lot of that stuff go through. That was one I had my eye on too. I'm like, wow, that's actually a heck of a start for somebody to just jump into that. The TSK
Yep.
stuff with the pastel, you got the shot at the black exanthic stuff coming out. It seems to be in that combo of pastel with it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I personally like that look when it goes that direction, but the dark face stuff is pretty nuts looking. So yeah, man, that's gonna be a fun one to see come down the pipe. Definitely be in touch regardless, but we're gonna see that stuff coming. It's
oh,
exciting to hear it on this side and then see it progress.
Yeah.
yeah. It's all yeah. Like I said, for me, it's just all these animals are long-term investments. They're going to be around for a while. I've got some head-to-head pairings, but if I can go visual to visual, that's the best way to do it. Um, One thing I am kind of lacking is on my pied side, um, but it'll come eventually. I may throw it to my clown pied stuff and create some hets, and then wait another 3 years. It's all time, on my
Yeah,
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Like I
If
said,
you and you're
I'm not.
enjoying it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to create world bursts or anything like that. I'm not really worried about selling the animal. I'm just enjoying it. I'm enjoying the people that I'm meeting in the community, and just trying to help people out where I can. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah.
absolutely. Was that a little bit of a shock to you coming in? Was that what you expected, or did you already know coming in quite a few people in the industry?
I didn't really, some of my local breeders were pretty helpful. I don't know if I'd say I really have a mentor, but I'd like to give a shout out to Rami Bryson with Nova Reptiles. She's down in Marysville, Washington. She's helped me out quite a bit, and
Okay.
Nice.
and I know that like I think her mentors was Bobby Day with Bad Reptiles. I think they're in Arizona now, I believe, but they used to
Believe
be
so.
up here.
Down that way. Yep.
I think they used to be up here in the Pacific Northwest too.
Okay.
I've had a lot of help along the way too, you know, as far as the rodents go. I've got Nikki and Kurt McComber with Irresistible Pythons and Bradery.
Yep.
They're just like one city north of me, so
Nice.
yeah, they got me going with my my ASF rodents.
Yeah.
That's still a work in progress. The first rack I built was a mess. Had a
That
lot of
happens.
escapees. I ended up
Yeah.
using 1/2 inch welded wire, and man, I'll tell you what, those hoppers, they get to size and they will get out.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And no matter what you do, it seems like, other than a full, I don't know, I think even the big manufactured racks, you still get escapees, right? But if you're using something you've built, boy, you better have that dialed in, because they are escape artists. I mean, they'll find the smallest little spot and just get a hold of something, and they chew like a bugger. I mean, they go through some pretty tough wire, you know. I was
Yeah.
shocked by that. So we've changed our process over time, but yeah, it's interesting
Yeah,
for sure.
I've even had some chew outs on tubs too. Not, you know, like,
Have you?
yeah, the first rack that I built, I ended up kind of doing it the cheap way. Went to Home Depot and got the concrete mortar tubs,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have like a little pinhole in the top of the tub where they can like hang it.
Yeah.
Well, I used welded wire and kind of formed it around there, so I didn't have chew outs there. But they ended up chewing out the side of the tub, and then
Wow.
Huh.
I had a couple reptile basics tubs, you know, like the little rat tubs that had the 1/4 inch screen enclosure on the top, and you can drop the water bottle in there, or you can run water lines to it. They're not probably the best tubs in the world to use, and there's like up towards the lip where it curves down. I had some
Any,
ASFs
anywhere that,
chew out through there, and next thing I know,
yeah,
I come in and I'm like, oh my god, where are they at?
anywhere where they can get an edge. It surprises me though that they go right through the side. That's that's pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
we haven't
I've heard
had
of that
that.
before though.
Oh yeah, heard of it, but yeah, they always
Yeah.
get a hold of a corner somewhere, right? So that's the
Right.
other thing, like the frame of your rack. If they can get a hold of that frame, like where you stapled wire on, or where that comes to a joint, they'll make a spot through that too. You know, we've
Yeah.
not had a tub
Oh
chew
yeah.
out yet, but sooner or later it's coming. We're not that lucky. It's gonna happen to us for sure. But yeah, that's good. I mean, you got people close to you. You've got good people close to you, and Nikki and Kurt, you couldn't ask for better help on the rat side of things. So it's
Right.
an awesome connection there.
Yeah, there's quite a few local breeders. You know, I'm trying to expand out a little bit, but I don't want to get too far. I'm going to be working with some Burmese. So
Oh,
Okay.
I've got one currently that I picked up from Dylan with D's Balls and Exotics.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's a normal, and then it's double het. So it's an unknown line of caramel that he got from Travis Knoll, and then it's also het for albino. So hopefully this season Dylan will be able to produce a couple females, and I might be able to get one. But like I said, I'm not going to go too crazy with the berms just because they're so big.
yeah. I
But
was gonna say you're keeping that thing.
yeah, if I'm fine with two, you know, like a
Yeah.
pair. But I don't foresee myself going too crazy with the berms. And then I'm also getting into a couple hypo Brazilian rainbow boas as well.
Oh, cool.
Nice. I always liked them. The rainbow
Yeah.
boas are just so cool. Always been kind of a personal favorite. Still don't know if we're gonna develop into those different species or not. I mean, got a lot to pin down before we start taking on different things, right? But applaud those that do. I mean, those big snakes, I can't ever foresee keeping, but the interest is there, and the people that have them love them. I get it. I'd
Oh
love to
yeah,
go see them. I don't know
Yeah.
if I want to have one. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's the nice thing about the Brazilian rainbow boas. They don't, they don't get too big, but they're definitely a lot stronger, and as far as their body shape is compared to like a ball python, they'll put you in handcuffs when you're
Yeah.
holding an adult,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they're fun to
definitely
work
cool.
with. And that's what I like about the berm too. He's a little bit of a challenge, and it's something different. You got to have out that snake hook, or you got to, because he'll bump and he'll hiss at you, and you just have to be confident when you're handling bigger animals like that. If you're not, they'll sense it, and they'll they'll
Yeah.
they'll let you know.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that's an arena I don't think we want to enter anytime soon. I see Chris in there. You got to mix it up, and I agree. I mean, like Jamie doing her leopard geckos and picking up a king snake. Some other things that are a little more manageable size for us. It's
Yeah, or
that
even
big
even
stuff.
even the hognose. The hognose. That's a I like the colubrids. They're a little derpy looking, with the and
Weird
Yeah.
round head, and
yeah,
yeah,
the way they look, but I think they're pretty cool. I'm just
yeah,
I'm surprised how small they start off, and then they're 5-6 feet long
right.
as
Yeah,
adults. Little
that's it.
deceiving.
It
Yeah.
is, and how quick they grow. Like this little king we got is, I mean, that thing's putting on size incredibly fast. Of course, they eat so much better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty different seeing that come up in the rack. But it's that time, Mark. Jamie's itching back there. I see her bouncing around in her. We're gonna give people a little more personal, comical side of Mark if we can. We're gonna get
Oh,
some hot seat going. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready.
All right. We're going to shift you right over. Good luck, sir. I think she put up a pretty easy list for you tonight. I don't think she's going to be too brutal, but she might surprise us. It's hot
Yeah.
seat time,
Sounds good.
guys. Good luck over there, Mark. I hear Jamie talking in the background. All right, here we go.
It's time to play the game. It's time to play the game. Ha ha ha. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello,
Are you ready for your hot seat debut?
I am. Let's get this going.
All right. We'll start right away. Pre-booked travel itinerary or spontaneous adventure?
I'm sorry. I'm having a little hard time hearing you.
A pre. Oh,
There we
is it
go.
better? Okay. Okay. Pre-booked travel itinerary or spontaneous adventure?
Oh, I'm all about the spontaneous adventure.
Yeah, it's fun. You never know what you're gonna do
Last minute to pack, just go someplace fun and do
next.
whatever you feel like doing.
That gets
Live in the
hard to do
moment.
when you have 60 snakes, though.
It is, yeah. But those 4-day vacations, they're much more appealing than like a week long vacation.
Yeah, I agree. Are you gonna cannonball into the pool or dip your toes first?
Oh, jump head first.
Ooh, into the pool?
Oh yeah, the lake, the pool, the
Oh,
ocean. You just got to jump in there and get wet.
I'm more of a dip my toes kind of person. Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Who's your favorite actor? Favorite funny actor?
Favorite funny actor? I've always gravitated towards Adam Sandler movies. The
So if I say
the Happy
Adam
Gilmore.
Sandler or Will Ferrell, who do you pick?
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go with Will Ferrell.
Oh, okay. He's funny. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 100 years into the future?
I'll say 10 minutes into the future.
You don't want to know what it's going to be like 100 years from now? I
I
think that
don't
would
think
be
so.
badass. Yeah, but it'd still be cool to see.
If we're still around,
Yeah. Home cooked meal or restaurant?
I'll say restaurant. Growing up, it was a lot of home cooked meals. We really didn't venture out too frequently, so when I get the chance to go out, I like to go out and have some fun. Night on
Yeah.
the town.
Meat, carrots, and meat, potatoes, and vegetable every night.
Yeah,
Is that what
a lot of chicken
growing
and
up?
rice
Yeah.
and vegetables growing up.
Yeah. Yeah. When you find a bug inside your house, do you kill it or take it outside?
Oh, I just leave it in there.
No matter
I
what kind,
yeah,
no matter.
I might break out the chameleon, let her go to town if she's hungry.
Oh, I want to see the chameleon. We'll have to show me that later.
All right,
Would you rather fly or have super strength?
I'm gonna go with fly.
Yep. What's your favorite thing to do in the summertime?
I like to go swimming at the lake, hang out, play with friends, and drink beer and go fishing.
Nice. What kind of fishing do you do?
Uh, Up here in the Pacific Northwest, I like to go out on the Sound and go out for Chinook salmon.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of
Very cool.
crabbing at the same time, and if the bite's not on, then you can always go for skates or flounder and stuff like that.
That's crazy. I never even hear of anything like that around here.
The salmon,
All the above.
okay,
Pied or clown?
both.
You got to pick one.
I'll go with clown.
You're like clown pied. Would you rather have regrets about actions or inactions?
I'd probably have regrets over inactions, not doing something that I
Wish you
wish I
would.
would have done or something I wish I could
Yeah.
have done.
Yep. Skydive or scuba dive?
Skydive.
Yeah. Ugh,
Yeah,
scary.
something about the water. Like I've gone snorkeling but I don't think I'd want to wear all the
Yeah. Yep.
I
I
have
get it.
I have quite a bit of issues with my sinuses anyway, so the pressurization and going down every 10 feet and
Yeah.
equalizing that might be an issue.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. When you're all alone in a car, what's your favorite song to blast and sing to?
Oh, yeah, I like a lot of reggae.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of my go-to. Maybe a little Cypress Hill, I don't know.
Yeah. Very cool. I love blasting the radio and just singing. I can't carry a tune worth a darn. So when I'm all by myself in the car and I can blast it and nobody can hear me, that's my favorite.
Just s- singing at the top of your lungs, Jamie.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Sound like a boy in puberty. Pontoon or speedboat?
Ooh, I'll go with the speedboat.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
water ski or any of that?
Yeah, I used to do a lot of wakeboarding when I lived in Arizona. That was a lot of fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, I can water ski. I've never really tried to do the slalom, like get up on one ski. I think that might be a little difficult for me,
Right.
especially at
Yeah.
my age now.
Right. Everything's a little more difficult at our age. Are you more of a thinker or a doer?
Uh, I'll think about it and then just get out there and get it done.
Okay.
I'd say
Golf?
more of a doer.
Doer, yep. Golf or tennis?
You're killing me. I like both. Golf is pretty relaxing. My son's a much better golfer than I am, so I'd probably say tennis.
Okay. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you pick?
Hmm. Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good one. What piece of advice have you been given that you always remember?
No matter how many times you get knocked down, just get back up, dust yourself off, and keep at
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
You apply yourself to whatever you're looking to accomplish, and good things are going to come to you. I always I'm a firm believer in manifest destiny. You put your mind towards something, you apply yourself, you want it bad enough,
Yeah.
you do the
Very
right
good.
thing, and good things will come
Yeah.
your way.
Very good. That's perfect. What's one goal that you have for 2025?
One goal for 2025. How about getting my first clutch on the ground? That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. That's a great goal. I have on here, what advice would you give to new breeders just getting started? But you are a new breeder just getting started.
Yeah.
So I'm going to change it a little bit. What's the best advice that you've gotten so far being a new breeder?
Just be patient. You know, take your time. It's not a rush. And like I tell a lot of people, I view all these animals as long-term investments. And
Hmm.
I've got nothing but time on my hands. I've got goals and visions and animals that I'd like to create, and I've got a lot of the building blocks to do so. So
Yeah,
take your time and enjoy it. Enjoy the animals, and don't worry about all the other stuff.
absolutely. Yeah, it's very good. And the last question in the hot seat, as I know you're sweating over there, if you could go back in time and talk to little Mark, what would you tell him?
Oh, I'd tell them to be more confident when it comes to talking to women. Hopefully, my girlfriend's not watching. I'm sure she is. But yeah, I was a late bloomer. Yeah, just have fun with it.
Absolutely. Very good. You did awesome. That was fun. We
Yeah, that
learned a
was
lot
a lot of
about
fun.
you. Yeah, it was not too hard. Yeah.
No,
Thank you for joining me. And thank you, everybody who came out to watch tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe.
All right. Well, you
Nice.
you did just fine.
Woo.
Yeah. It does get warm. People like to pretend it doesn't, but I get warm sitting in this seat with the lights on and sitting in one spot and focus. You know what I mean? It's just a warm thing. So appreciate that for sure. It's good to hear some of those different. What I don't want to say preferences necessarily, but you always get a better picture of somebody after that for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Jay, you were about to ask something there. I'd cut you off a little bit.
No, I just thought he had some good answers. I know you struggled with a couple of those because you either liked both or you just didn't like the options. But what's kind of cool about it is those specific questions, because it kind of forces you into making that decision, and everybody gets to hear what it is. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like sports, so like golf and tennis. That was kind of a tough one.
yeah,
I like pickleball too. Racquetball. I grew up playing a lot of racquetball with my dad, and that was a lot of fun.
yeah. Pickleball is a big thing here where we're at. It's like
Yeah.
a known. It's like the living meme here in about a 3-state area. So yeah,
Yep. Yeah, that gets pretty stiff competition out there. People take it awfully serious, it seems
they
like.
do. Yeah.
And they're older than us, a lot of them, out there competing. And I'm like, man, these guys are going after it. But it does look like
Oh,
fun. I have not tried it.
I was going to tell you too, do the slalom ski. You're going to be surprised. That's actually easier. In my opinion, it's easier than 2 skis. Doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it would be or make any sense, but man, you pop right up, and once you're up
So
there, it's easy
do you
to maneuver.
typically start off on one ski, or do you drop the ski?
I just start off on one, but I mean, either
Yeah.
way, some people have an
Yeah,
easy
I would
time.
think it would probably be easier to start off on one
Yeah,
right off the get go and
yeah.
get up on that.
Yeah.
Do
And
any
the
of that anymore.
wakeboarding. So all reservoir stuff, Arizona,
Oh,
I
Oh yeah,
imagine.
yeah,
Yeah, just was it parks or was it actual just reservoir boat out there wakeboarding?
yeah. And just my buddy had a nice little 18-foot speedboat, and then did quite a bit, to get that wake up. He had ballast in the back and all that stuff. But
yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Did a ton of
Used
it
to be
here
able
and
to
I
do a
just
lot more stuff. Now that I'm older, I kind of cringe when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
I get hurt now, and it takes me 2-3 months to get feeling back to where I should be.
Yeah.
right. You never really get it back anymore. That's the thing. You always come back to that, 92%, and then you're at 88%. And it's like,
Yeah.
these are chunks coming off at this point.
Yeah,
Every time I try something like that, I literally lose years off of my life. Like I never get back into it. It's just now life's shorter. I always hurt my back or something's always getting me now. But
Right. It's tough. It's tough to talk
no,
yourself into doing it even, to be honest.
yeah,
But
oh, I don't have a hard time talking myself into doing it. It's just when you get knocked down, trying to get back up. That's when you're like, okay, yeah, I think I'm done.
yeah.
yeah,
So
the
in the
one
reservoir, we're talking like rock wall, or is it you
Oh
still
no,
got like beach
no,
area?
yeah, it's a dam, and then so it's a big
Yeah.
reservoir. It's basically like probably 80 acres of water.
Okay.
So
Gotcha. I've
nice
seen.
big area to go
Yeah, I've seen
wakeboarding.
people go down through the rock walls, and that's I don't know, man. That's a little sketchy.
Oh yeah, I don't think I'd want to do that.
No, I mean wakeboarding would maybe be okay because you're going a little bit slower, but the skiing you get up there in speed, um, even the kneeboarding and stuff. I don't want to be by rock walls. I even stay away from all the docks. Like, just get out away from this stuff, man.
no objects, please.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, that's a lot of stuff we miss, but not enough. I see the wakeboard in the closet when I open it up to get my winter coat, and I go, that's just fine sitting in there. That can stay in there for a bit, and just move past that stuff. But good memories for sure.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, getting to the point of the show where we kind of do start to wrap up. We're about that hour and a half mark. Anything you want to shout out there to individuals in your area? I know you mentioned a couple that you didn't want to say mentor, but that did help you and guide you along. Your own personal little shout outs here is a good spot for it.
Yeah, like I said, I'd like to thank Nikki and Kurt for helping me out with getting my rodent production up and running. That was really beneficial, especially once the collection size continues to grow. Like I wish I would have gotten started off breeding rodents first. I never really told you guys about the name Rat Bastard Royals. I didn't know if you were interested in hearing the backstory on that, but it's a good one.
Absolutely. Yes, we'll have at it.
Yeah. So when I first got my vanilla pastel breeder female, she's probably my biggest animal that I have. She's pushing 3,600 grams, and when I first got her, she didn't want to eat, and I think it was just she was so big that she didn't have to eat as frequently.
Right.
So it was about 2 months before the first time she took a rat, and I'm not too comfortable handling medium-sized rats with my bare hands, so I prefer to use tongs or at the time I had just like a small, maybe 8 or 10 inch pair of forceps,
yeah,
and I had the rat by the tail, and when I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at something. That rat turned around and it got me on the finger and bit me down to the bone. And I was like, "You rat bastard!"
Oh, oh
So
man.
the name,
Medium-sized
the
rat
name.
can do some damage, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. That hurt pretty bad.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And that's not a bite; it's like a chunk. I mean, they're taking a hunk. You know,
Yeah,
God sakes.
had the nice like tooth impressions, and it's nasty.
Yeah.
Made sure to really treat that well with antibiotics and
Right.
Bactine or Bactracin and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
Well,
Right.
that wasn't their rat. That wasn't their rat.
Jamie,
We'll bring Jamie out here.
yeah, they didn't hear that. So Jamie says, shout out to Kurt and Nikki.
And Mark says it wasn't there. It wasn't theirs. It looked like that cartoon bite out of a sandwich out of your finger,
That's
kind of a
funny.
thing. You could see where the two teeth went through and just took
Yeah,
hunk.
I was just kind of like holding it up and sorry about that.
I thought we were
Geez.
getting a full-on demonstration. That was awesome.
All right. So here's what happened. My gimbal, I think the battery just died on it, so I'm just gonna hold the camera for the rest of the.
There you go.
There we
There
go.
you go. The gimbal battery died and dumped you.
Yeah. It flipped the gimbal upside down and said, "We're done."
Yeah. Oh, we're just about there. We got to just put out there for the Forge Coin. Jamie's got a trivia question. Something you said or something we said or maybe something she said. But $10 for somebody out there for the first guess, I guess.
I don't think I've ever done something I've said. I should do that.
Yeah, throw it up.
All right. Not today, but
No.
trivia. How many clutches is Mark hoping for this season? I do have a backup.
42.
Just in case.
That's what he's hoping
Or
for.
realistically gonna get.
Right. Somebody's got to remember this number. I remember this.
Oh. Well, this is what I had written down.
Yep. So actually, Vance got it first with 3.
Vance is up there with 3. I have 3 to 5 written on my paper, so well,
I think you
guess.
said I paired 5, but I'm
You're
hoping I
hoping
get
for
3 of
3.
those. That's what I
All right.
recall. Am I
Yeah.
wrong, Mark? Or?
Nope, that's exactly.
No, I think I said 3 to 5, so I'd go with 3. Vance is there. Yeah,
All right.
even with my collection size, I don't foresee myself going anywhere like above 8.
Gotcha. Just
I'd like
kind of
to,
keep
I'd
that
like
as
to
your.
keep it relatively small, like the collection. I don't really want to. I might, like I said, I might go a little higher with both racks, but as far as the ball pythons go, I'd like to keep it probably to 40, 50 breeders, somewhere around there. And
Yeah.
Call
you
it
have
good. That's a
hatchling
great
racks yet?
number.
yeah, I've got a 1039 rack behind me there.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the ARS 1039 rack. I like the 10 series tubs because you can, when they first hatch out, you can throw the whole clutch in there until they shed out, and then you can separate them out. But
It's
yeah,
just
that
it's a
rack's
great
getting
size tub.
that rack's getting full. So
And they can grow in there a little bit too, which is nice.
yeah.
What is your swap up point? Somewhere in that 400 to 500 grams. They got to get out of there.
I can go a little higher than that, actually. I can go up to probably 650, 750.
Okay.
Some of them, they don't like. I mean, before I had the ARS racks, I was using the Sterilite tubs and like individual heat mats, and have a lot of thermostats if anybody needs one.
Right.
Yeah, that's what you end up
with.
with. A ton of them. Absolutely. And the reason I ask, I guess, because we build all our hatching racks, and it's like a
Yeah.
V18. I think we had talked earlier on that, but slightly different size, I think, in the 1039. I'm not super familiar with. I've seen them,
Yeah,
but not
I,
paid
I
enough
think
attention.
I think it's about half the size, maybe.
Okay.
I could, yeah, I'm not sure on the dimensions. I could probably pull
Oh,
out
yeah,
the,
no. That's all right. We'll take your word for it. And I'm sure a ton of people out there are familiar with the 39s too, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think we're all set, man. I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. We'll definitely have you back
Yeah,
again.
thanks,
You're going
Mark.
to be on a panel with us at some point.
yeah,
We have to do
appreciate you guys having me on. It's been a lot of fun. At first I was a little bit nervous, but I think I did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
No,
did
you
real
did
good.
totally fine.
I was like
Nervous.
sweating bullets backstage when everything was not working.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a rough start,
We
but
had no audio for the cameras and had to switch
Right.
from the tablet to the camera, but it all worked out.
Yeah.
yeah.
Panned out
Your
just
camera
fine.
was fantastic for showing snakes.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
phone
it
did
really
great
was.
on that side of
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
good job, man. Again, appreciate it a ton. But
Yeah, appreciate you
hang out.
guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
hang out with us for just a bit. We'll come back to you in the backstage. We're going to close it up, though, guys. I know we got 2 days left in the week. Not that far, guys, and we got a weekend ahead of us, right? Next week, come out and join us. We got Josh, MCBR. He's going to hang out and tell us a little bit about the wide variety of stuff he's got going over there, too. Fantastic guy, just a really nice guy. I'm super curious to see what he's got for projects and animals. Mark, thank you again very much. Everybody in the audience, thank you for coming and hanging out, and have a great remainder of the week, guys. All right. Peace out. Let's do it, guys.